Hello, good morning. Thank you for joining me. We're going to go ahead and get started. Starting on our backs, gently pulling our shoulder blades together, allowing our feet to just fall naturally to the side, whatever feels comfortable. Trying to get our shoulders on the bed, focusing on our breath, breathing in nice and deep so that our bellies rise and fall as we breathe into the lower part of our lungs. Remembering to listen to our bodies as we move through our yoga practice today. Always listening to the messages it gives us. Our bodies may feel different on different days. Also remembering the modifications and the suggestions of eating breakfast before you do your yoga. Originally I just designed this to just roll out of bed and start doing yoga, and I think that can be helpful. But I also think for some of us, we may need to be sure that we've got something in our tummies before we start. Breathing in peace, breathing out calm. And switching to the yogic breath, first down to the belly, then to the upper chest. Nice deep breathing, holding, and then nice long exhale. And as we're moving today, keeping in mind our breath, keeping in mind moving with our breath. I may not be the best model of that because I'm also demonstrating while I'm moving or speaking like I am now, so you can't hear my breathing. And I'm not focusing on my breathing actually. But I just want to let you know that this is going to be a little bit more active routine. I've been trying to do some slower, gentler ones. And so I encourage you to watch it before you do it to determine if it's the right thing for you to do today. And so I'm trying to have a variety for you guys. So pulling our knees up to the point that feels comfortable, knees pointing toward the sky. We're going to pull that right leg in, gently allowing that lower back to stretch. And always trying to move, initiate on the inhale and then get in deeper into the pose on the exhale, or return back to a neutral place on the exhale. So inhaling that knee up, pulling to the chest, straightening that leg, holding from behind if that feels comfortable, pulling back, pointing and flexing. Gentle, gentle, and straight again. And then on the inhale, pulling that left knee up. Just gentle holding, gentle stretching, and then straighten. Gently letting those hamstrings wake up, and then back to the chest. And straighten again. And back to the chest. knee to chest, pointing and flexing. Good. Now joining that left knee up. Nice deep breathing. Rocking side to side, hugging those knees, remembering to hold underneath the knees. We may want to widen our legs a little bit if that feels more comfortable. And placing our hands on our knees, we're going to make gentle circles to wake up those hips. And changing direction. Okay, holding those knees in. So we're going to do a little bit of a sequence here. So we're going to go knees to chest, staff legs, butterfly feet, and then staff legs and knees to chest. So moving with your own breath. So breathing in. Exhale. And again. And then leaving the knees right here. We're going to lace our fingers behind our head and gently touch our knee to our elbow. Breathing nice and deep. You can move with the breath if you want. You can move faster if you want. It's just a gentle abdomen work, gentle twist. Waking up those muscles. Do as many as you can. And then releasing the head, placing the feet flat on the bed, releasing the arms. We're going to do some bridges. And with the bridge, remembering always to plant those feet. We're going to raise our hips. We may keep them very straight, or we may want to arch our back more, whatever feels comfortable for today. You may do a couple of each. So moving with the arms if we choose, or leaving the arms still. So inhaling up. And you also may choose to add the knees to chest, or may choose to skip that part. Move with your own breath. I like to do the knees to chest because it loosens up my back a little bit more. I'm hitting the bed. Baby, she's got mischief in her eyes today. And last one, do your last one, then we'll meet neutral. Good. I don't know how this is going to work with the cat. Hey baby. Hi. Got mischief in your mind. You want to play? So we're going to transition on into prone. So we're going to transition onto our bellies. So pulling our knees to our chest. We're going to roll. Excuse me. Just lay right there. Okay, roll over onto our sides. Remembering that in fetal position we can have our legs in different ways, but just taking a nice deep breath here. We want to be careful with our transitions to make sure that we still feel steady and that we're able to adjust our breathing. So grateful for our bodies and the movement they give us, aren't we? So rolling over onto our bellies, and for those of you who are just new to watching these videos, my bed is at an incline. That's not your camera, which means that I'm doing it a little tiny bit differently from you, and it also means my back may not look quite as straight as it's supposed to. So just try to remember as we're moving in these poses, if you're moving, try to keep your back straight if possible. Some of the poses are going to stretch the back, some of the poses are going to flex, some of the poses are going to lengthen, but trying to keep your back straight when you're moving if possible. So onto our bellies, we're going to raise up that right arm and the left leg on the inhale, and then drop on the exhale. And again on the other side, inhaling up. And when we're doing this, well, that looks really interesting with the angle. You may only do the arm, you may only do the leg, or you can do both. It's really helpful to do both, and you're trying to almost like someone's pulling you from your hand and your foot. So nice deep stretching, move with your own breath. Remembering that a modification for this is to put a pillow under the belly. And last one. Now we're going to inhale with both arms and both legs. Moving with the breath. Trying to challenge yourself a little if you can. Now we're going to slide those arms down by our hips. And we're again going to raise the chest up. If it feels like we're putting too much pressure on the lower back, just tighten those abs a little bit more as you lift. So tightening the abs and then lifting can be very helpful. So moving with the breath. So we're inhaling up and exhaling down. Reaching with those arms, reaching with those legs. And one more. And swing our arms around, put them by our shoulders, and push up for Sphinx. Sphinx means your arms are at a 90-degree angle, arms are parallel, looking forward, gently pulling those shoulder blades together. And then we're going to just do some nice deep breaths here. Remembering to protect the back, you might tighten those abdomen muscles slightly. going to show you Cobra. So letting those shoulders fall. We're going to tighten those abs. And in Cobra, we lift up just a little bit less. But we want to be lifting mostly with our abs and just use our hands for a little bit of stability. So we can tighten those abs and raise that chest and then place the hands down. So Cobra is not Sphinx. Our arms are not forward, and it's also not up dog where our arms are straight. But our hands are by our shoulders and we just are lifting slightly. So inhaling for Cobra and exhaling down. Moving with your own breath. Again, tightening the abs first. It's a little different on this elevated bed. And one more. Now when we're moving through the sequences, if our hands are by our shoulders, we want to try to tuck our elbows in. Sometimes we have a tendency to stick them out, especially when you see people doing push-ups like this. But in yoga, we actually put them in. So they're kind of close to our bodies. So now we're going to move into child's pose, and then we're going to do the sequence that I have shown you in previous videos. Let me show you the child's pose. So remembering in child's pose, we may have modifications. We may want to widen our knees. We may change, use a modification underneath our, use a pillow or something. So we're going to inhale up into modified plank. So the back is straight. I'm going to use fist for wrist today. The back is straight, the hips are forward. Down for modified crocodile. So the back is still straight. And then up for modified up dog, or if you want to just do Cobra, letting those hips stay down and just lift slightly. And then back with a straight back into child's pose. So moving with your own breath, trying to inhale and exhale as you change the pose. And one more set. Then we'll meet back in child's pose. Coming up on all fours. This is called either all fours or table. We want to check to make sure that our hip is over our knee and our shoulder is over our arm. This is called neutral spine when the head is pointing down. Nice deep breath here. I'm going to do some cat-cows. Remembering always with the cat-cow that we move with our hips first, then arch our back, or hips, then back, then shoulders, then neck. So for the cow, we're going to arch our hips away from us, making a C with our back, pulling our shoulders back and raising our head. And then on the exhale, we do the opposite. We move the hips down, we arch the back up like a C, and then really stretch those shoulders and chin to chest. So moving with your own breath. time and we'll meet back in neutral spine. We're going to take our left arm and we're going to thread it underneath and gently allow that left shoulder to stretch. Nice deep breathing. And then we're going to tighten those abs, push up. We're going to thread the other arm through. And then pushing up to all fours. We're going to take that left knee and we're going to, actually I'm going to scoot up just a little bit. So we're going to take that left knee, we're going to turn it out and straighten that right leg. A nice straight arm underneath your shoulder, and then raising the arm. We may look up, we may look straight, we may look down. Trying to get that nice, make a line between your foot, your knee, and your fist. It's a little bit challenging to do these balancing poses on the bed, but I'm kind of cheating and I'm using my foot to help me stabilize. No, I'm making a modification. I'm not cheating, right? Nice deep breathing. I'm also using my left foot to sort of anchor me to the bed. We'll see what it's like on the other side because we'll see. Okay, and changing sides, so down, knee, turn the knee out, checking for alignment, making sure that left foot is anchored, nice deep breathing. And bringing that arm down, we're going to transition into seated poses. And I'm going to grab a sip of water. I don't know about you, but that made me sweat. Remembering to always pause if you need to. Now, as we adjust to the seated positions, let's do some butterfly feet. That's with the feet touching. Remembering to always try to have a nice straight spine, butterfly feet. We're going to twist with our hips and our chest to the right first. Nice deep breathing. And twisting to the left. . You may notice that things feel different on different sides, and that's totally okay. It's totally okay. We're just doing what feels right for our body, and for whatever reason our bodies may be out of balance. And it's really helpful to do these yoga poses because then we can start to get them back to closer to balance, even if they may never actually be perfectly in balance. So now, I don't know about you, but my clothes move. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to do the lateral stretches. So placing the right hand by the right hip and stretching with that left arm. We want to keep our back as straight as possible, and we're just gently moving to the side. So our hips are stable and our upper body is moving gently from one side to the other. On the inhale, we reach and stretch, and on the exhale, we fall into the pose. And then changing sides on the inhale, and then exhale, we fall into the pose, moving with your own breath. Really stretching those arms. Maybe if you want a little more challenge, you can see if you can go deeper into the pose with each exhale. Last set, and we'll meet a neutral spine. Placing that right leg out straight. We're going to keep that left leg in. We're going to turn our heart center toward our knees, so turning our hips and our heart, and gently allowing ourselves to walk down toward our knee, allowing that hamstring to really stretch out. Nice deep breathing. We may fall slightly on the exhale. Just holding on to our leg wherever it feels comfortable. Really paying attention to the messages your body is giving you. And tightening those abs, walking the hand back up. We're going to change legs, so pulling that right leg in and putting that left leg out. Remembering, of course, they may feel a little different. We're going to turn our hips and our heart center toward that left knee, walking our head toward it. Walking our hand, again tightening those abs, walking our hands back. We're going to pull our feet in, gently pulling out the flesh from the sit bones if we need to. Nice straight spine. We're going to do a little twist, so hands at heart center. What we're going to do is we're going to twist so that the left elbow is touching the right knee. Remember your modifications if you need them. And then we're going to come up on the inhale and twisting the opposite direction, trying to get that elbow as close to that knee as possible. Inhaling up and exhaling down. I'm not used to doing this in a seated position, so I'm just trying to make a modification for the bed. Trying to put the hand at heart center. And one more set. Or one more breath. Gently rolling those shoulder blades back, releasing the arms. Up and back, up and back, up and back, and then up and forward, up and forward, up and forward. So I think that's going to be it for today. Thank you for joining me for yoga in bed. I hope you're liking these videos, and I'm trying to give you a variety of different options to choose from, and I really hope that you're liking them. Namaste.